Hey guys, it's Captain. I just wanted to run by a couple setups for those new fishermen that have been asking me, hey, how do you set up a drop shot? How do you set up a T-rig, a C-rig, whatever? Just wanted to do a quick video. This here is a drop shot hook. This is the one I only use, or I'm sure there's others that use it, but it's the only one I use. This is made by VMC, and it's a spin cast shot. I don't know. What it has is a swivel, and it allows the hook to swivel around the line freely. Okay, so you're going to tie a knot to the first loop, and then you're going to tie a knot to the second loop down here. Then you're going to have as little as 3 up to like 10. I mean, it depends on what kind of cover you're fishing. You're going to have this weight, and this is what a drop shot weight looks like for those of you that don't know. Pretty basic. You can get these at any tackle store. It has a little slot in the top of the bait, and it allows you to slide the line through the slot and pull it tight without having to tie a knot on the bottom. That weight there is just stuck in the line is stuck through and pulled to the top. And as you pull a drop shot worm, well, let me put one on so you know what it looks like. I normally just nose hook. So here's the spear from CCC Baits. I literally just stick the hook in the tip of the worm from the bottom up. Right? So now, when you are dancing it, you cast it out and you're dancing it, the weight stays on the bottom, and your worm is going to be, as you're reeling it in, sticking away from your line like this. So that's the drop shot, and you could put almost any kind of bait you want on a drop shot. Okay? Weighted hook. These hooks have a weight built right into the bottom of them, or sometimes they're over here. And they usually either have a spring, like that at the top, or you'll even have some with a nail. And all you're going to do on these, you take your worm or your creature or whatever it may be, you go through the top about a 1/4 inch. No, let's not do it. You're going to peg this one, and you sort of just screw it onto the nail weight itself, or the screw, whatever it is. Push it up, push it up, push it up. You want to get it all the way up to the top, and then you're left with a worm on this hook. But you want to make sure that the worm lies as straight as possible for good presentation. So what you do is you figure that out where that is with your thumb, and you go, okay, I need it to go in right there. So you'll bend your worm so that when the hook comes through on the other side, it's level with the top of the worm, and you pull it that way, correct? This is just a regular setup. You could texpose it, as they call, and that's just putting it under the skin of the worm. So now no weeds will interfere with the retrieval of that. More weedless. So that's the weighted hook. Again, you can do it with creature baits, any kind of bait, dragging it on the bottom. There is no other weight dangling behind like the drop shot. Then there's just your general wide gap hook. EWG, extra wide gap. I use Gamakatsu's. When you're doing these, you do the same thing as I was trying to start on the other one, but I got confused. You go through just the tip of the worm, right, or whatever you're using. You go down just to that bend, and you're going to come out, slide the worm all the way up. Okay? Slid all the way up, and now you're basically where you were on the nail weight, and you're just going to find a good spot to bury that hook so the worm or the creature is as straight as possible. Okay. This is a bush pig, CCC Baits. So anything you put on there, that's just an extra wide gap hook. No weight involved on this. You could add a weight on your line above this. That would be Texas rigging. You know, it's a sliding sinker. They look like this. A lot of guys use tungsten. I like to use tungsten, but they're very expensive. But once you use tungsten, you never go back. So anyway, there's different sizes of those. The drop shot weights I was telling you about, they come in all different sizes. I even, so here's a smaller one. I even cut, well, that one's cut. I cut them in half with diagonal cutters just to get the right size for my presentation if I don't have a smaller one. And then I even paint them. Nail polish. If you have a daughter, you have plenty of nail polish. Just little tricks of the trade. What else is there? As far as rigging goes, that's actually, other than the Carolina rig, in a Carolina rig, you're going to use one of these, which is called a swivel. It has a hoop on both ends. You tie a line here, and it goes that way to maybe a hook like this, right? 3 feet, 4 feet, 2 feet, whatever your desired distance is. And then you tie your knot. And then on the other side, this goes to your pole, you would put a sliding sinker, right? You slide this onto the line, tie your line here. That would leave your weight on top of your swivel. When you pull this along the bottom of the lake, your bait would be dangling behind. It's another bottom presentation. Anyway, I guess that's it for now. I mean, if there's any other questions, you know who you are. Just ask me and I'll send you another video. Thanks.